We will start now. Please mute your microphone during the show. We will record the show and upload it later to the H Network YouTube channel. Please use the chat to type your questions. And if you experience connection problems, enable low bandwidth mode and reduce video quality. Thank you so much for waiting. Now, let me introduce you to the episode number 39. Welcome all, hope everybody is very well. And now to start formally, I will read this brief introduction where I will explain why this talk show is taking place. Women, as we know, are no less than any men in any field. Over time, we have seen several examples of women excelling in various STEM fields and serving the society for the larger cause. We at the STEM Girls Initiative aims to groom girls with the same kind of inspiration and still at heart to excel in STEM fields and do their best. This talk show is a platform for the women in STEM to talk to the girls aspiring to excel in it. We are sure that after hearing from our guests, all the audience will be inspired to reach the stars. During this talk show, we will be conversing with a woman in the field of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. A woman who has made her mark and now graciously taking the time to tell us about her journey and share with us her wisdom. Now, I'm ready to present to you our guest today. That is Miss Nikita. Thank you so much, Miss Nikita, for being here. We are very happy and glad to have you as our guest today.
Thank you so much for the invitation, and even I'm glad that I'm part of this program that you're organizing, and you all have been doing such an amazing work with your initiative, and yeah, I'm so happy that I'm part of it.
Thank you so much for accepting our invitation. And well, now I will read this brief introduction and then we can start with the questions. First, Ms. Nikita is the Society for Space Education Research and Development co-founder to Open Space Frontier to all by promoting space education among the community and preparing the young generation for the space revolution. Also, she received KWAA Youth Icon 2019 award for her outstanding work at inspiring students in STEM and space. Nikita is a native Bangalorean and has done her bachelor's in space engineering from Alliance University and is a space geek. She traveled to over 6 countries, including Mauritius, in December 2018, and as a moderator for space and STEM education and outreach in Africa. Sri Lanka in January 2019 to teach about space science, and advancement of India in the space industry. She was in France for her space studies program at International Space University in June 2019. She was part of a team project called Space for Urban Planning, where 30 participants from 17 countries came together to find solutions for challenges faced in urban planning. She's a good preceptor who pledged herself to educate and excite people around the world. She's becoming a household name among the space nerds and power machine for inspiring and motivating young students to pursue their goals and dreams. She is a great supporter of girls and women in STEM. Nikita is the founder, director, and COO of Ginex Space. Within the next 5 years, her goal is to have many students take up space and science, inspire students to develop innovative solutions, and partner with all the major national space agencies to share their progress among the students. And well, we are very happy and glad to have you here, Ms. Nikita. This introduction is very interesting. Congratulations for all your experience, and thank you so much for being here. I'm sure that your answers to our question will be very helpful for all the girls and women who are there waiting for advice or any other like like comment about what STEM is. Perfect. And now, if you are ready, we can start with the questions. Perfect. Okay. First, a very important question that we cover on every talk show is, what is your field of study and what got you interested in it?
That's a very good question to start with. So I I always had this interest towards flying. I can tell you how it was as well. Like the place where I stay is pretty much close to the airport. So I used to see the airplanes take off and landing most of the time. And from my childhood, that got me interested. At the same time, I also used to look at the sky and look at the stars and moon and wonder like it's so amazing, right? Um, I always wanted to reach them, and all I knew at that time was flying or becoming a pilot. Probably we would go that high. So that's how my goal of becoming a pilot was born when I was I think less than 10 year old, and that was there until a long time when until I realized that I was short to get into that field. But then I was like, it's fine if I don't fly an airplane. Probably I could learn about all these airplanes, aircrafts, including all these things about space. So that's when I was looking for courses and degrees, and I found aerospace engineering course from Alliance University, and I had applied, got selected, and that's how I can say I started off studying. So now I have my bachelor's degree in aerospace engineering from Alliance University, and then I also did my space studies program from France in 2019. I still want to do my master's and PhD. Probably that's there in the future. Um, and basically that's what my interest is. And while studying, I came across many of my juniors friends, including my seniors, where they said that they didn't know what they were going to study. Like they took aerospace engineering, they didn't know that they would learn about all these aircrafts and spacecrafts. They thought that they would study about stars and planets. At the same time, there were few students whom we met from different colleges. Those who were doing aeronautical engineering, they thought that they again would learn about stars and planets, or few of them thought that they would become pilots at the end of fourth year. So this was very common when we go around for any programs, all the aerospace related people there, they just keep talking. This is the same thing, and I felt like, okay, we should probably tell this before anyone gets into these kind of programs. And that's when we started off with spreading the knowledge about space science among these students, telling, okay, this is astronomy. If you want to study about astronomy, this is the path. If you like aeroplanes, then you should do aeronautics. So that's how we started off with education and outreach back in 2015 or 16, I can say, when I was still a student. And from then till now, we've been doing the same. We've been telling about space to people across the world and guiding them to take what they wanted, So that's what a little bit about me and how it all started.
Thank you so much. It is very interesting. I think that the field of space is very like interesting because nowadays we have like a lot of advancement in that area, and I don't know. I think that it's part of the future and it's part of the technology that is developing, that it's like advancing every day.
Yes, you all know that, right? That's what I'm trying to say. Like back then, there was no much advancement or there was no much news, probably like something from NASA or ESA, or like even from India, from India's space agency, that's ISRO. Whereas now you see every day there is some or the other news about space, and that is creating that curiosity among the students, and they are like just jumping in to get into these fields, these courses. But they need those guidance, understand what they want to do, and then get into those proper careers. That has become the need right now because the interest level has been increasing.
Yes, thank you so much. Now we'll pass to the next question. That is also very important because many people, when think about engineering, the first word that came up to their minds is difficult or any other word related. So tell us the difficult situations or challenges you have to overcome in pursuing a career in STEM as a woman, particularly in your field of work.
Well, I can luckily say there was no much challenge or problems for me personally, other than the very beginning of my education career, wherein um, few of them said that, when I said I want to do aerospace engineering, the society and the people around me were like, no, girls can't do it. It's very hard. It's heavy. Like just like mechanical and civil and things, because people thought that this were not meant for girls. And I was at that point of time, I was like, no, I can do it. I want to do it. But even now, people say the same thing. I see that is one of the major challenge that's there in the society, which most of the girls will have to just say, okay, or just basically ignore all of them and go forward in doing what they want to do. I see that was one of the major challenge I had, at least in my career. Apart from that, I can say that most of the time I create opportunity for myself, and that's what I would like to tell everyone. Like, don't be someone who be like, no, finding it problem. I don't know what to do, how to do it. Probably think of how to do it and get it done. Then there wouldn't be any problem. And apart from that, I can tell you based on what others have experienced. But as the question is targeting me, I think there's no challenges for me that I have faced. But as a female, there is nothing. But I can say as a young student who was studying and who just passed out and running a company, or me and Sujay as partners, or as early entrepreneurs or first generation of entrepreneurs in our families, had some kind of difficulty to run the organization itself. Like we didn't know how to run a company, right? So because um, we were very new to this, all the goal we had was to tell about space to everyone, and which we were doing it, but um, on a structure where how the company should work, how an organization should work, how do we get it registered, how do we write the proposals, most of those things is something that we were not aware of, which I felt was something as a problem at that time. But very happy to say that we together have come so far, exploring by ourselves, learning, making mistakes, again reworking on it. Yeah, I think that's something which I can tell you.
Thank you so much. That's very interesting. Is it a point of view that let us think a lot of about all the social problems that we have as a society. So, based on your previous answer, which social problem do you think is the most urgent to be solved when we talk about girls in STEM?
Yeah, I think I just mentioned my own personal experience, right? So I see that exists even today. wherein few people, the thing is, our girls or anyone should go and reach out to the people who have experience in it. The, the, the problem arises when you just go and ask any random person, right? Like you might feel, okay, someone is doing some engineering, let me just go and ask, what is this engineering? For sure, they know what is their engineering, and they would say what they would have heard of from someone else, which I see could be a problem. So uh, make sure you just talk to someone who has that experience. Then is when it would be something, that goes off. At the same time, I can say one of the major problem for girls in not letting do what they want is lack of examples, right? Like if a student says, I want to become a pilot, do they have access to talk to those person, or like that particular person, and understand what was their journey, right? So that is something that I see is lacking, where lack of that examples, live examples, successful examples, which is basically nothing but role models, um, creates kind of a problem for girls telling, okay, there is no one who's done that, right? I think it can't be done by girls. That's another type of problem that, like basically, that we ourselves are accepting upon and not giving a chance. um, I see that is one thing. And not just space, for every single STEM or like space, science, technology, or anything, um, I see that, the girls must come outside of their problems, whatever they have, or try to get some kind of help to come out of that. Uh, because if you just think it's a problem, like including, I know a few of them who have faced, like today I was just reading some news. Someone was just telling, for the same work that person was doing, and then there was a man who was doing the same, that exact same work. She was paid less. Like she was paid only 70%. I mean, why, right? Like the question comes, why? So I see that could also be one of the social problem that we have right now, looking at women in a lower way, thinking, I see that could be one of the biggest problem, which we need to again like come out of. So yeah.
Thank you so much. Yes, it is very important to like start making more examples and different things so can girls have more like curiosity about what this field is or any other related to STEM. I think that your opinion is like very interesting because we can see like a different point of view, a different way to make more solutions. So thank you so much for that. And the next question is, what are the advantages and disadvantages of high turnover rates in aerospace engineering?
Yeah. um, all I can say is the experience that matters. uh, at the same time, what educational qualification that you go with, right? Now coming to how best you give is what the results you get, and that's like overall effect of the company, right? So I see that the higher rate of growing, or particularly this fact that we're talking high turnover rates, um, in aerospace engineering, could happen when an innovation comes in, something that makes the whole things easy and more efficient, and that's where the talent is needed, right? So I could just link it to the talent. Now coming to the advantage and disadvantage of this high turnover rates, I don't see anything as disadvantage. It's an advantage, I could say, because I know the fact that people who are into normal tasks, like for example, mechanical or computer science, them getting more opportunities at the same time their salaries being high. Whereas for aerospace engineers, it's less compared to it. At the same time, the uh, the opportunities itself are less for aerospace engineers, right? So I see you got to improve your talent and what you know, and go and give out the best in order to uplift the whole industry, is what I could say.
Thank you so much. Now, another important question is about peer pressure. We have covered a lot of social problems here. We talk about uh, the the lack of like information, the lack of equality. But now let's talk about peer pressure. So, when you were a student, did you feel any peer pressure, especially because you're a woman? And what advice would you give to young girls to overcome this obstacle?
It's a very challenging question for me again. Um, did I have that any kind of experience? I can say no. I had a good time. At the same time, there's no problem, I could say. Now, for the girls who are there or who might come across any such problems, as I told you way before, in the beginning itself, all you need to do is seek out for support within the institution, like your professors who could help you with, so that you will not have that kind of problem even like in your brains. And just be open to tell and to just solve that problem as early as possible. Don't be like there together for a longer time. Even like again, like I keep coming across a lot of such problems among students. Today also I came across one girl who had some kind of problems, and I was telling her, just talk when you have such kind of problems. And I see that's something that has to be solved, with mentally across the people, with not just one or two. It has to be said for everyone, I feel. So yeah, that's what I feel.
Thank you so much. And yes, it's a very important question because everybody has their own like path for professional life. So sometimes we can say that we don't have like peer pressure, but there are a lot of another factors and another problems that we have as women in engineering. So thank you so much for your answer. And now, is the something very important to mention is that not every time all the girls have like economic and social problems when they try to join in the STEM field. Sometimes the problems could be economic. Is there any scholarship or another opportunity for for girls and young women pursuing a career in STEM?
That's a very good question and important question, I feel, at the moment. uh, I can say there are few scholarship which is given for girls and women. At the same time, it's also something given specifically through some universities and some programs. But what I can tell you is, for anyone who's looking for that kind of support, the financial support, scholarships or fee reduction, you reach out to the universities and see if there is any kind of scholarship schemes, which might be like, there might be something. Unless we don't ask, unless we ask, we might not get to know about that, right? Like, there was this international space university where I studied, as I said, in France. I wanted to study there, and I wasn't aware if there is a scholarship that was given for Indian women. until I applied and asked, okay, I might not be able to pay everything. And then they were like, no, there is some scholarship. You can apply for it. So again, I went through that. That's one suggestion that I can give you. Another important suggestion, which you all can try it out if you need any kind of support, is this uh, do this something called crowdfunding. There will be people who would be ready to support. Reach out to these big institutions or like companies, and reach out to them asking that, I want to do my higher studies. Help me in any possible way. I usually suggest, I've been asked this question a lot of times. What I've been suggesting is that, for example, you know what you want to study. When you know what you want to study, you will also know where you will end up being in, like which sector. For example, I can tell you like robotics. Okay, so you want to study more about robotics. What happens after robotics is you get a job into anything related to robotics. Now you don't have money to study that, so what can you do? As I said, reach out for scholarship within the college and also do the crowdfunding. And the another best thing that you can do is reach out to all these companies who would be in the same sector that you want to get in, and say that, write an email, go meet them and say that, I'm going to study this. I need support right now, but this is my goal, to work in a company like yours. So can I get any kind of support from yours to study, where I study and come back and work for you, for your company, right? Probably that should work, because I've been saying that same thing. It might be not that of high probability to get the support, but you should give it a try. So I feel there are like different ways you can seek support, like particularly financial support, that you can ask for. And then another major thing that we usually don't try is reaching out to the embassies. Like, for example, you got a university which is in one country, reach out to that embassy, or like your embassy in that country, or that country's embassy in your country. Reach out to them and say that I've got this, I've got admission there, I need support, can you help me? They should be able to find someone who could also provide you with financial support, or they must also have an idea of what are the available scholarships that they have for that country, and that should help you.
Thank you so much. And yes, it is very important to give it a try because, as you said, the no is always there. You have to search for the yes, and I don't know, maybe an opportunity can come up and make you follow your dream path of professional life. So thank you so much. It is a very important advice because sometimes when we are in need, when we need this type of help, uh, sometimes we need like the someone to remember us that we have to try everything as possible to I don't know to advance in our goals. Thank you so much. And another very important question now, more about your field, madam, is what jobs and career opportunities are there for girls who want to study aerospace engineering?
Yeah. So I can see like many. Okay. At the same time, uh, first thing what I wanted to do is, what anyone should do is, think of what you want to do in your life, right? So, and see, probably map out different ways to do it and select the best ones to follow it. Coming to different careers that anyone can have, including us, like the girls and the men, in particularly in aerospace, is that you can get into research field if you are very much interested in thinking of innovative ideas or coming up with new plans, new theories. Research field is one of the amazing field, I can say. Now, this research field is there for aeronautics, space technology, astronomy, astrophysics. All of this you can get into research field. Another is engineering, as I said, which will get you into building something. When I say building, it need not be like building a hardware, but also it includes designing something, more of a practical work. Every concept that a researcher or a scientist would put forward, an engineer must make it possible. So if you are someone who is interested in coming up with ideas or in innovative ways of making things possible, engineering is like really good. When I say engineering, we have space engineering, particularly when it comes to space, right? You have a lot of small things which you can be good at, and you get jobs in those sector, because bachelor's in aerospace is like very much combination of everything, like propulsion, aerodynamic structures, avionics, or we have a lot of them, right? So you gotta see what you want to do, you want to study, as I said, and be good at it, and then you look for those kind of jobs, right? So engineering is one thing. And then for those who would have done aerospace engineering, and if you're looking for careers in this whole STEM, if you have a uh, little or more talent towards management, then there is a whole new set of tasks or job roles that are there, which is particularly into management. Now, they would be very happy to have someone in a management role or an operations level with some background in STEM, right? Because it adds as an advantage. It's not that if it's a management role, you must come from a management background. No, you can still come from STEM background. So that's one thing out there. Entrepreneurship itself is one big thing that you can look for, which I strongly suggest most of the girls to come, or at least take it as your future goal. You know, do proper study right now. See what is not there. What are the problems we have? Think of solutions. Start building on it slowly. Get some experience in the companies which are pretty similar or like in that domain. Okay, get that experience and see how you can do it. If you think you can do it, and just get into the entrepreneurship itself, because that decision of you will create an opportunity for more people, so creating the job opportunity, that is also there. And then nowadays I see a lot of job roles which are coming, uh, which should need programming as one of the important skill set or requirement. So I would suggest again all the girls to be good at this as much as possible. Learn basic things or something that is required by everyone. Like 10 years back, if you say programming, everyone would be like C, C++, but today it is not. There are like advanced levels or advanced languages, I can say, which is currently in use, which is mostly in use. So learn a little bit of it, so that you have that ticked in your CVs, telling, okay, I know this, which means any job which would need someone with all these experience in STEM plus the coding, they would just take in you, right? Apart from that, I can say there are like analyst job roles that are there, you know, because they want to know how they are doing, how the company is doing, strategists, and collaboration, building it, or like basically growing in a bigger way. So there are like various roles you can get into by taking STEM. Identify, as I said, identify what you want to do, what you're good at, what you want to become in the future, and that should help you to get what you want.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
You said,
I did miss out something like really important, including the astronaut, right? Becoming astronaut
Mhm.
is another one career, I can say, which you can get into with STEM. Um, you have degree in anything like science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Nowadays, there are astronauts who went to space even with medicine as a background. So that's like, amazing thing. So again, if your goal is to become an astronaut, figure out that way. You need to get experience, you must have degree, you must have done good research. Apart from that, they also look at how physically fit you are, mentally fit you are, mentally ready, and all those things they look into, and how good are you in your decision making, practical knowledge, logical thinking. Those things are something that people consider. um, and again, this program is limited to few countries, so you gotta be little careful if you're going to plan to take up this. It's a slow process, but if you wish to, you can be there.
Thank you so much. You said a lot of important things. Like, for example, if you don't have the opportunity, you have to make your own opportunity. You have to start managing your time or the things you have by hand. Um, Programming is a very important area that we must like develop. I am studying an engineering. I am an electronics engineering student, and even when I am working in the part of hardware, sometimes you need to do the part of software. And I think that is something that is very important in every field of engineering. So I think that it is very important what you told us. And thank you so much. Yes, sometimes the path can get a little bit of difficulty, but as we passed, at the end we will be very happy with the results. So thank you so much. Um, Now, uh, we have another question, one of the last questions, and is, what would you consider to be your greatest achievement as a STEM woman, an educator, and motivator of your time?
I think the question itself had an answer. I see one of the best things that I have done is I've personally not felt that, okay, I've done this. I've only experienced that when someone reaches out to me telling, okay, they learned something, or they made a decision, they wanted some kind of support, and that happened. And then sometimes they say they know me somehow and they need support, or somehow they had heard me talking and that had helped them. And at the same time, sometimes few students coming and saying that, okay, now I like this, I want to do this. I see that is one of my major achievements, being an educator and someone who keeps speaking to people. um, and Yeah, that's something that makes me happy, and which also makes me continue to do what I want to, right? Like help more students as possible, and that would be my greatest achievement, to bring in more people, to know more about space, to get their space dreams come true.
Thank you so much. Very inspiring. And well, again, congratulations for all your path, Miss Nikita. I think that is very, I don't know, you look like very young, and all what you have made and all the passion that you transmit when you talk about what you like, or when you try to combine girls that STEM could be the way, the path they can follow to to I don't know, to make what they like, what they maybe dream to do since they are a child. So thank you so much. And we have a last question that is very important, and is, Nigeria is currently facing health insecurity. What is your contribution to solving this problem with your field, or what do you think is a possible solution?
again, this is one of the serious problem I could see is not just of Nigeria, but many countries. Um, and yes, space can help us, because space is something that just brings in everyone to work together. Like you were telling, you have done your electronics and you're interested in space. Of course, you can work in space because now if I talk anything about space, we might need you as in your expertise, your knowledge, right? Like that, coming to solving the issue of health, be it food, agriculture, our satellites, particularly in the space technology, satellites and the Earth observation system, you know, we could use this to to observe what's happening towards the agriculture and food. Now, coming to health, for sure, our satellites could be used to, map out or see where the population with this kind of problem is more and what all facilities are required. This is something that I learned in my urban planning. If you want the city to be good, then you need to make sure all the facilities are there in all these cities. Now if we have to solve the issue related to health, we got to point out what are the problems out there and what are the solutions, and in space how can it help is to map out all those and provide those analysis, including I think we all are aware of this pollution and climate change. Today we have space solutions, like we can map out what is causing the problem, where is the problem happening, and we can literally inform way before telling, okay, this is happening. We all get to know about the cyclones and things, that could have affected humans very badly. And similarly, we could also see how space technology could solve this problem which we have related to health. For sure, this is something that could be done. I could also add another point over here, which is slightly in a different context, but very important and something that everyone can follow. Like we all know astronauts go to space. The condition that they live in is something which is very controlled or environment. Very specifically, they make sure this has to be like this, oxygen has to be this level, the humidity has to be this level, there must be no germs or the pressure, all these things are maintained. I think we need to take that as an example to make sure that we don't have any health issues over here. What are things that is required, and try to give all those or maintain those things to have a sustainable life, to have a healthy life. Because out there in space you can't take a risk of getting sick, and even if you get sick, there are people continuously monitoring so that you don't fall sick. We could implement such things in a minor way to start off right here on Earth, and that could be the starting of solving the health problem here on Earth, and not just in Nigeria, in many other countries who need solutions to the problems like you mentioned.
Thank you so much. And yes, I think that STEM in every field has a lot of things to provide in order to make better a lot of problems, like for example in this case health. So thank you so much for that answer. I think that many people will be like more will understand more what paper has this kind of fields in solving today's problems. So thank you so much again, Miss Nikita. And now we pass to the section of questions from the audience. So if there is someone with any type of question, you can raise your hand or type your question in the chat box. Is there any question? While we wait, I don't know, Miss Nikita, if you have any comment or conclusion or any final message to tell all the girls and STEM women who are like watching this in our YouTube channel.
Yeah, all I think I can say is um, being okay. I can tell you being a girl, but I want to tell you on an overall anyone who's watching, right? Um, there might be some kind of restrictions or someone who's there to tell you no, you can't do it, or people might also laugh at you for what you're doing. I want to tell you, you must believe in yourself. If you think you want to do it, it doesn't matter what people think, you should do it. At the same time, I would suggest all of you to become stronger mentally, to take everything, to accept everything. You might fail as well, but it's fine, because um, we all know this proverb: failure is a stepping stone of success. What I'm trying to say is, if you fail, you understand what went wrong, and you will for sure succeed if you don't make that mistake that you made, which made you fail, right? So all I want to tell you is, uh, do something that you love. That will make you stay, like, let's say, encouraged yourself. Like, you're just encouraging yourself because you're doing what you wanted to, right? It's like if someone else tell you what you have to do and you don't have interest, you literally stop doing what you wanted to. But if you do what you wanted to do, then you will for sure do it really well, right? So that's why I would say, choose something that you wanted to do and give your best, and ignore some of the negative things that would come in, but always try to give that best, and just ignore, and keep going forward. Just don't stop, keep going forward. Find someone who could always be there to help you and support you, and even if there is no one, just be yourself to motivate you. That's something that I would like to say.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate your advice. There is no better advice than the one who comes from someone's own experience. So thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And I think there are no questions, but I'm sure that that what you said, what you told us, what you shared with us will help a lot of girls, and will motivate more people to join in the space, the space part of the space education research. So thank you so much for sharing your your path with us. It was a pleasure.
Thank you very much for hosting, and I really enjoyed sharing my personal experience and whatever I have learned. And this is for everyone. If you need any kind of help, any kind of support, any kind of guidance, feel free to reach out to me. You can get in touch with me on all the social media. You also have Age Network, reach out to them. They are doing amazing work, and if you need anything from mine, reach out to them or through them as well. And I wish you all, the Age Network team, all the best in everything that you're doing. And I see this is one of the important thing that we all need to focus. I was also part of, Space for Women experts meeting recently that was organized by UNUSA, where everyone were discussing how we can increase the number of girls and women. What are the different things that we can try doing? And we also posted a lot of suggestions to UNUSA to handle them. And there were many of them from the African continent and different countries actually, where they themselves were doing like amazing work. I think we all need to stand together, helping each other, and building that ecosystem, and help all these girls, and in fact anyone, to to reach their goals, you know. So you're doing amazing work, and all the best. Wish you all the best.
Thank you so much again. And well, I don't know what to say. I'm very happy with all the information you have just gave us. In every talk show, we learn something different from every different guest that we have. And after what you share with us, I don't know, I feel a little bit motivated because you talk a lot with passion, and I can see that you like a lot what you do. And I think that is very one thing that is very important for someone who tries to motivate another people. And I'm sure that you will continue doing this. And congratulations and thank you very much. And yes, as H Network, we would like to a lot to continue working together. We have a mentorship program. This mentorship program is like we are working on it. And if you're interested, you can contact us and you can be part of it. In a little bit of time, in some weeks, maybe next year, that is very closer. Um, you can join also the Latin America STEM Girls Virtual Space mentorship program, where we work also with girls from Mexico, Colombia, Brazil, and all that type of countries in that part of the world. So thank you so much. And now I will explain more information about what people can do if they want to join us or continue being part of our event. So this show was hosted by African Girls Empowerment Network in the field of education. Uh, this is our mission as STEM Girls Talkshow, that is to encourage and promote participation of young girls in STEM, hear the stories and journeys of women in STEM, answer questions girls have regarding careers and studies in STEM. So uh, people can get involved, becoming a mentor, volunteer, a partner friend, a donor, a STEM Girls ambassador. And here is our social media and contact in case they are interested in being part of us. So thank you so much. I don't know if Tina wants to say something. We're very happy for being here with you, Miss Nikita.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ms. Nikita. Hope I'm pronouncing your name right.
You can call me Nikki, which is easy.
Right. Thank you very much for honoring our invitation. It's an honor to have you. And I've learned a lot from your insightful words, and see you are amazing. You're really amazing. Thank you very much, man.
Yes. Thank you
So
so
thank you
much.
for listening again, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Same to you. Thank you so much. Hope to see you
Thank you.
in another talk show or in another event or in our mentorship program. So
Yeah,
thank you so much.
I'd be very happy to be part of all those initiatives. Just let me know. However I can, I will try to be there. Okay. Thank you very much. See
Yes.
you all.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Bye.